guys? Welcome to another edition of Market Marauders. Beating the market one trade at a time. First things first, smash that subscribe button down below. Like, comment, share. Alright, we're going to dive into it. So, this is going to be an earnings recap of Tesla's earning call. And if we look at the price of Tesla, it has shot up tremendously. It's way above its moving average 50, which is 435.19, and it's way above its moving average 200, which is 291.78. It's currently at 650.57. It's currently Saturday, so this is the price of close on Friday. So if you look at it, the growth has been pretty crazy. Go to its 5-day chart. It basically jumped up. I remember this day. It was at like 500. It jumped up all the way to 640. So, you know, that was a pretty crazy day, and that was like in the span of a couple of hours. Um, so, it shot up all the way to 647, and rightfully so, because they've been doing some pretty good things, and we're going to jump into their earnings, give a recap on why I personally think this stock is going to continue to grow in the future, and it's probably going to have another spike like this coming next week. So, quarter four earnings update. Um, so if we go to automotive revenue, it has on here is a 19% increase. So it went from quarter three, it was 5,353 and went to 6368. So that's a pretty large increase. Um, you know, having an increase that big, just shows that the profitability of the company, and that the company knows what they're doing when it comes to making cars. So their automotive gross profit also increased. Went from 1222 to 1434. And it was a automotive gross margin of 22.5%. So almost the same growth as in quarter three, just a little less, which isn't too bad. Total revenue increased from 6303 to 7384, so that's always a good thing. Uh, Going down a little more to some more important numbers. So this is operational summary, unaudited, for the Model S and X production. It went up to 17,993, so 17,933 from 16,318. So that's a pretty big increase. The Model 3 increase is went from 79,837 to 86,958, which is also a good thing. But one metric that I think is really important, and that's kind of overlooked by a lot of people, because a lot of people are like, oh, they're making more cars, and their production isn't as vast as most people. They're not producing that much. This is the number to me that solidifies the fact that they know what they're doing. And this is the Model S and X and the Model Y and the Model 3 deliveries. So for deliveries, it increased from quarter three 17,438 to 19,475, which I think is fantastic. Which basically means more people are getting cars each quarter. So that's always good, and is always good number and a good metric to always be increasing. And it also helps consumers when they want to go and buy a car, because it cuts down on wait times. So when people buy cars, it'll basically tell how long it takes you to get the car. But the faster that these cars can be produced and the less the wait time, the more people are going to want to buy it. So I think that's always a fantastic thing. In the Model 3 deliveries, there was an increase. So from quarter three, it was 79,703. Then it went to 92,620. So this has been like the largest amount of deliveries of like all the quarters for the Model 3, which I think is a good thing because you can see uh, this increase that has continued to grow. So from quarter four to quarter one, there was a decrease. But if we look at these other quarters, compared to quarter one and the progress to quarter four, I mean it's a dramatic increase. It's like 40,000 more. So you know, having more cars delivered, and especially that much progress uh, in deliveries, I think is a really good thing. So going down some more. Okay, so this is the production. So this is in the Fremont. The production ramp of Model Y started in January 2020. Together with Model 3, our combined installed production capacity for these vehicles is now 400,000 units per year, which is a really large number. The ramp of Model Y will be gradual, as we will be adding additional machinery in various production shops. After such expansions are done by mid 2020, installed combined Model 3 and Model Y capacity could reach 500,000 units per year. We'll be starting delivery of Model Y by the end of quarter 1 2020. So, they're ramping up this Model Y production, and it's going to be pretty good. So, their Model Y is going to be made in all three factories. So the Berlin factory is not built yet, but it'll be creating Model 3 and Model Y, which will definitely increase that delivery number for Model 3. The Shanghai factory has Model 3 and Model Y. In the Fremont factory, Model S, Model X, Model 3, and Model Y. I think, or I'm wondering in the future if they'll eventually be be producing all four like they are in Fremont in the Shanghai and Berlin factories, or are they just uh, going to solely be producing more Model 3 and more Model Ys in the Shanghai and Berlin factories? So, I mean, who knows? I think that's a good question to find out because I think if they can produce all the models in all the factories, then that would just increase production in general. But I know the Shanghai factory is brand new, and the Berlin factory hasn't even been made. So you know maybe they're gonna uh, make the Roadster or something in the Shanghai factory, or the Roadster in the Berlin factory, and the Cybertruck in the Shanghai factory. I mean, then they'll have the semis as well, so that'll probably be these factories. The more factories, basically, the more cars and trucks can be produced. So I think that's a good thing um, moving forward with the company. So going and jumping into the Shanghai news, as we have begun gradually ramping local production of battery packs since late quarter 4 2019. The rest of the Model 3 manufacturing processes are running as expected due to strong initial customer response in China. Our goal is to increase Model 3 capacity even further using existing facilities. So when they went to China, they lowered the price of the car. So people went to the Tesla facilities and ordered like crazy. So their order amount went through the roof. Um, which is good. It's a good thing to have a bunch of orders, but now they got to produce those vehicles. So, increasing production is something that's going to be key for next quarter, and seeing that grow uh, with the Berlin and the Shanghai factory. So, seeing both of those factories and the Fremont, see all three of those factories increase production. And seeing the Berlin factory finally being built and start producing, uh, we can see more vehicles being delivered, which is always good for shareholders and for people who are buying Teslas in general. Finishing up the Shanghai section, it says we have already broken ground on the next phase, the Gigafactory Shanghai. Given the popularity of the SUV vehicle segment, we are planning for Model Y capacity to be at least equivalent to Model 3 capacity. So, people are going to be buying Model Y along with Model 3, and they expect the demand to be, just as much. So I think, we could see in the future Model Y trending Model 3, and see, that continual growth. I don't know if people buy Model S as much, Model S and X as much as they do Model 3 and pre-order Model Y, but they also have these other um, Cybertruck and Roadster. So I personally don't know the pre-order numbers on those, but I think it's probably significant when it comes to those as well. So update on the Berlin. We are moving forward with our preparations near Berlin, which we have selected as the right place to build vehicles for our European market due to strong manufacturing and engineering presence in Germany. The first deliveries are expected in 2021. So basically, they expect to be done with the factory next year, and already producing vehicles. So if they can, pull off what they pulled off in Shanghai and Berlin, that'd be fantastic. And I can see the company continuing to increase. Um, their stock price as well as their uh, just value long term. I think the Shanghai factory was built in 360 days and started producing. So I think it was like less than a year it was built, and it was already producing vehicles. So you know we've already started 2020. Maybe they can finish the Berlin factory before 2021 and start producing the beginning of 2020 one. So that would be fantastic, and that'd be awesome for them in terms of production. So going to the solar glass roof. In quarter four, we continue to ramp both solar glass roof production as well as installation in addition in addition to Tesla installers. We have also partnered with several roofing companies to support installation to fulfill demand of solar glass roof. After organization several roofing companies training days at our training homes in Fremont, we already demonstrated dramatically shorter installation times versus uh, previous versions of the product. Solar glass tiles are made in our Gigafactory, New York, and are hiring hundreds of employees at its facility. So I personally haven't seen a house that has these on it, but I think it'll be cool if there's a video on how they work and explaining them. There probably is one out there. I just haven't seen one, so you know I think it's a pretty cool idea, pretty cool design, and I'm excited to see this continue to grow because I think it has a lot of applications for alternative energy sources. So this is the Fremont, some pictures of the Fremont factory, uh, Model Y build shop in Fremont, some more Fremont pictures. So this is the Model Y. This is the March 2019 prototype. This is the January 2020 production vehicle. So it looks really nice. Looks pretty compact. Um, it doesn't have the same doors, the going up doors as the other model does, but I think it looks nice, um, and I can see a lot of people buying it. So this is just factory layouts of Gigafactory Shanghai and Fremont, California. So we have the stamping, then it goes over to body welding, no, body and white. So welding, and then general assembly, paint shop, and then another general assembly. In the Shanghai factory, it comes from stamping, bodyweight welding, paint shop, general assembly. So over here in Fremont, it looks like it's all spread out into different facilities, and then kind of have to travel through all these. But in the Shanghai one, um, it seems like it's all just one big factory, one giant assembly line. So I feel like Model 3, just from an efficiency standpoint, would produce more cars than Fremont would, just based on the size. I also wonder for the layout of the Berlin factory, would they go with this approach for just one large factory, or are they going to go for kind of a scattered approach like these factories? That's something I would like to see from them explaining, how that goes. But they may have done this, after the factory is built. Yeah. So this is what was on here last on the top part. Um, so I'm gonna go over that again. But yeah, so that's basically it. So drop a comment down below. Tell me what price you think Tesla's gonna go to next week or the weeks moving forward. Will it get to 700 next week? I mean, who knows? It's jumped up dramatically in the past couple of weeks, and I think now people have had time to sit with the earnings and see them sink in, and I think the numbers kind of speak for themselves. I know there was a lot of news about them talking about recalling a couple of, I think it was like 500,000 vehicles, but you know, that news didn't really last too long. And the numbers are definitely speaking for themselves when it comes to Tesla and what they're doing moving forward. I think it's a fantastic company. I think they're on the right track. They're constantly expanding, and I think they're doing it the right way. They know what people want, the consumer, and they're addressing those issues and producing more vehicles. I think their supply is definitely lower than the demand. Um, and I think if they can get the demand up just a little more, which they've basically shown on here that they have increased their supply. So I think once they have their supply meet their demand and they get that more cars going out, I think they'll definitely be more profitable, and we'll see that and you'll see that in their revenue increases. So drop a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think the price of Tesla is going to be next week or moving forward. Do you think it's going to get to the $700 price? Do you think it's going to get to $800 price? Because it's been some crazy growth uh, for this company moving forward. Um, so drop that comment down below. Hit that subscribe button while you're down there. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.